Welcome all to Backyard Bullshit. That's right. That's right. It's us, the Kelowitz brothers, um, Isaiah and Levi, and this is just gonna be us bullshitting because we miss each other, don't we, Levi? We miss each other, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, well, today we're gonna talk more about sports because Husker football's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Woo! Let's go. So
Speaking of
yeah,
Husker football,
speaking
it's
of Husker,
volleyball day at Nebraska at
it
Memorial
is.
Stadium.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
No,
Woo! Are you watching the game right now? Are you distracted, Levi?
it's not really. I'm getting the
Um.
starting lineup here for your Nebraska Cornhuskers
Oh yeah.
because I'm a little unprepared with everything going on.
Facts, bro. Facts. I was planning on writing a script last night, but did not at all.
I was planning on
So
writing.
you're planning on writing what? A report on the starters?
I was gonna kind of do a script and kind of like dialogue it down, but that didn't
Yeah,
really work.
yeah. So Levi, do you want to introduce yourself?
So, my name is Levi Kilowitz. I work for Aurora Co-op here in Fairbury, Nebraska. I grew up in Gilead. I'm a huge Husker fan, a huge Chiefs fan. I follow sports a lot. I was a mechanic for several years, still kind of am. Trying to form a nonprofit to help families in need and veterans in need because there's just a need out there to for like families like there's a bunch of programs out there I should say that help families in any way they can, and a lot of them are more of like a support group and not so much like hands on. And so with my mechanical background, I want to be able to provide them something that is not just a moral support but is something that is willing to help them take one less thing off of their plate and one less thing they need to worry about so they can focus on, say, like if they have marriage issues, they can focus on that more, or family or this and that, then oh hey, my car's broke down, I don't have the financial needs to fix that, my marriage is a mess, whatever. It's just one less thing off of their plate. And yeah, that's kind of my background. I like building rat rods. That's kind of a hobby. That's pretty much me.
I'm pretty sure you're forgetting one huge detail that has happened in the last week,
Okay,
officially one
so
week ago.
are we talking about mom and dad?
No, no, no. We're talking about you getting promoted.
Okay, so I've been in the Army National Guard for 9 years now. I would have been 10, but I got out for about a year and a half. Um, so I have not been promoted yet. I am waiting on a
Oh,
promotion packet to actually go through. I just got done with BLC, which is basically a leadership course required to become a non-commissioned officer. So that is on there, and once my packet goes through, hopefully in the next couple months, by October is the new fiscal year, and hopefully by October I am officially a sergeant.
woo! Let's go, dude. Let's go.
I know.
Alrighty, alrighty. Is it my turn, Levi?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Isaiah Kelwitz. I'm the youngest out of all the children. There is one more. which is the middle child, but he's not here today. But he might join us later on in a couple episodes. Um,
His name is
uh,
Elijah, if anyone is wondering.
yeah, his name's Elijah. We call him Eli. He's a hippie, but anyway, I'm the youngest, and I grew up in Nebraska with this hunk of chunk right here, and I moved out to New York within the last year, a year and a half ago, officially, and yeah, we decided we were gonna start this podcast, so we're here, we're doing it. Within the last year, I was trying to chase some dreams, and I got two YouTube channels going. One is for video games. When I'm bored, that's just a hobby I do. When I'm bored, I play video games and I record. I'll put all the links in the description. Um, and then the other one's my personal one, which is just kind of like a vlog where I design houses, build design houses, um, bake videos like baking and cooking, and I will get back into baking and cooking in October because bulk season is right around the corner. So, um, yeah, I think that's a little bit about me. I'm the athletic one. Boom.
Okay, he's right. He's right about that. He's a skill player. I was a lineman,
Yeah,
and Elijah did cross country. So
I got the big hits from Levi, and I got the stamina from Eli. Sound
yep,
about right? Sound about
yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Alrighty. So Levi, are you ready for tomorrow? Are you ready for the big game?
Oh yes, I am. Oh
Let's
yeah.
go, bro. Let's go. So Levi, do you have the starter report up and going?
So I do not have it.
Oh, what?
I've been working on getting these starters here. Um, I will tell you that Matt Rule is more than likely. I have this gut feeling Matt Rule is our guy. Matt
Yeah.
Rule is Matt Rule. If no one knows who Matt Rule is, Matt Rule was born as a preacher's son. He he went on. He coached at several different schools. He went to Temple. He changed Temple around. He changed Baylor. He went to Baylor, and in a matter of a couple seasons, about 3 seasons, they were already in the Big 12 conference game. He went to Carolina, to the NFL. Didn't really make it there, unfortunately, but as we all know, the NFL and college are totally different. Or like
Yeah.
two totally different leagues. um,
Bless you.
so he is officially back in his college realm where he actually thrives, and he's at a
Yeah.
place called good old Nebraska. And Matt Rule is how do I want this? Matt Rule is big on tradition. So everywhere
Mhm.
he's gone, he's dove into tradition. He loves small towns. He loves local talent. He's a big physical guy. He loves physicality. Um, he's he he's just all around. Like honestly, I believe he is the guy for Nebraska. Like, don't get me wrong, we've had a lot of great coaches. A lot of people still want the Tom Osborne era. A lot of people also don't realize it took Tom Osborne almost 20 years before he finally made it to the 90s and was the big powerhouse that we were. Um, he actually And Matt Rule has actually sat down with Tom Osborne, talked about a lot, figured out what Nebraska was, why they were a powerhouse, figured out the Nebraska tradition. He took the time to call Frank Solich, who Frank, as we all know, most of you know, Frank Solich was a fullback under Tom Osborne, and then he became a head coach, took over for Tom Osborne when Tom Osborne decided to retire in '97. Um, and unfortunately, he was let go in, I want to say, 2001, 2002, one of those years. um, yeah. Um, there's, and so he called Frank Solich, asked him about what it was like to play the fullback position, what a true Nebraska fullback required. Um, so yeah, we are bringing the old school, old style of football back. I understand it's a lot different. I understand we have a lot more RPOs. I understand there's a lot more different things than just the ground and pound like it used to be. But Rule is going to figure out how to incorporate the old physical running style of football with the new style of passing attacks. And I am really looking forward to it. Um, I am actually, I should have been more prepared. I'm actually trying to, um,
You're trying to get the chart, huh? The depth chart for
yeah,
offensive and defensive. I got it on my phone.
you got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so before we go into that, so before we go into the starters and everything, one thing Matt Rule has done is single digit numbers. No one got a single digit number until it was earned. So you're talking, there are 10 numbers out there, 0 through 9. Those 10 players had to earn their numbers.
Mm.
And so that is something that they worked on. Um, the 11 guys that got the black shirts are your starters, and they will slowly, throughout the year, when they figure out who the best rotational guys are, they will eventually earn black shirts. So that is some new tradition we have going on. Um, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher his name,
Uh oh.
but we were talking about the fullback position. So Barrett Liebentrit,
I would say
he,
Liebentrit. I would say it. Yeah, I'd say that.
so he is from Omaha, Nebraska. He was a tight end. He went to Notre Dame. He specifically transferred from Notre Dame back to Nebraska just to play fullback.
Hmm. Interesting.
It is.
Interesting. Just a home state kid that actually came back home to play under. I'm gonna say one thing. I haven't seen this much hype for Nebraska football in all my life. Like like I don't know if there's been this much hype since the Osborne era. So yeah, if people are coming back home to the states to play for um, our state college, then honestly, that says something about our coaching decision that we have made.
And this is the most, what was I reading earlier? We have not had this much recruiting hype or this much recruiting buzz since Bill Callahan.
When was Callahan? Was that 90s?
No, that was like 2002 through oh 05, oh 06.
Uh, so it's been almost 20 years since we've had this hype for recruiting.
Yep. And one thing Matt Rule is big on is hometown talent, which we haven't been big on hometown talent since like Osborne and Solage.
Yeah,
So you think about it, the recruiting buzz hasn't been this big in almost 20 years. Hometown talent buzz wise hasn't been this big since almost 20, 30 years. So we are at a time where this is just incredible. Not even for, we haven't even played a game yet, and it's already showing what we've lacked in almost 2 decades.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I will agree with you there.
So before we go into the starting lineup too, so earlier today, I was reading about our special teams.
Yeah,
Our special teams, Coach Foley wants our special teams to be the most aggressive special teams in college football. So, with that being said, don't expect people to wave their hands, don't expect fair catches. Now, I understand we will see that. I understand there's a time for that because we got to think about player safety. We got to think about trying to prevent injuries. I mean, it is a physical sport.
yeah,
So, but they're not just going to wave their hand for a fair catch. If they actually believe that they can take the football and gain yards out of it, they're going to do it.
yeah. So are we? Speaking of special teams, are we gonna start seeing some big hits like Kenny Bell did to that one kid?
I believe so. And we have a freshman. We have a freshman kicker that beat out a junior.
Really? Let's
His
see.
senior year, I can't think of his name now. Gosh dang it.
Oh,
I had his name
Tristan
there.
Albano.
Yep.
He beat out
Yeah, he's
Timmy
out of
Bleak
Omaha.
Road. Yeah.
Omaha? What school did he go to? Is Omaha something?
Um, it just says he's just from Omaha.
So
Oh
last
well,
year,
last year, yeah.
he made 19 out of 20 of his field goal attempts as a senior in high school.
Hmm, not bad.
Nope. So we'll see how that transfers over.
Hopefully, he's better than the kickers that we've had in the previous years. Missing
Yep.
uh we've been the team, if I remember correctly, we've been the team that have missed some big opportunity field goals that we needed, right?
Yep. And this guy actually, if you want to know the truth, this guy last year in the state His team, it came down to the wire at Memorial Stadium for the state championship, came down for the wire last few seconds, and I don't remember how long it was, but they put him out there and he nailed it straight down the center to win it.
Jeez. Straight down the center, bro. That takes talent. That really does.
So just knowing that is he can be put in that clutch moment and still make it between the goalposts.
Yeah.
I mean, when everything's on the line, in all honesty, that is the type of kicker that we need. We need someone who's no matter what it is, you can just look at him and say, "Hey, go win this thing for us."
Yeah. Yeah.
The other,
We we need a kicker that can actually make a field goal when we really need one, you know. Especially in the fourth quarter when it is coming down to the wire. We just need a kicker that can actually make a field goal.
yep. And speaking when you're talking about coming down to the wire, so the last few years, we've all witnessed that we all lose it in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
We've been that fourth quarter team where we hang in there until the fourth quarter and then it collapses.
Mhm.
Matt Rule is not gonna be that guy. Matt Rule wants the guys that he tells his guys every day it's a boxing mentality.
Yeah.
You got to go in there. You got to go punch for punch. You got to go round for round and conserve everything you got until the fourth quarter,
Mhm.
and then you can go out and play lights out and dominate.
Yeah.
So Matt Rule is going to make sure we're in these games. It may not happen this year. You might see it this year. You might see some of them this year. Because I know the Big Ten has a lot of competition with like Ohio State and Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of talent in the Big Ten,
Yeah.
but you will see a team that will go fight for fight, punch for punch, round for round until the fourth quarter. And then they're going to do whatever they can to put them in a position to win that game.
Oh yeah.
So that is one thing I'm looking forward to, especially tomorrow where we kick it off. I'm looking forward to especially watching the fourth quarter games to see how they actually go.
Yeah, I am yeah, I'm looking forward to see like how much we improved since last year because when Mickey Joseph took over last year, um, we actually did improve a little bit, and I'm hoping that we'll see how much we improved um, over the off season into this season with the new head coach Matt Rule. Um, and
Speaking,
speaking of,
good,
no, no,
good.
I kind of lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
You good,
So we're
bro?
talking about. So one question that got brought up while I was at BLC was why did Scott Frost fail at Nebraska?
Yeah,
So, granted, I'll be honest, I was never sold on the whole Scott Frost train. I was never sold on him being the golden boy to change Husker football, but that's a whole nother story. So, we had an instructor out there who is actually a few years younger than Scott Frost. Actually, he might be a few years older. One of he basically played ball, like I wouldn't say he played ball, but within a few years, him and Scott Frost were there. Scott Frost's dad coached at Wood River, where Scott Frost grew up, and he was the discipline guy. Whatever he said went. Nobody argued with him. Nobody did anything. He was the strict guy. Scott Frost, when he did not have the strict people around him, he kind of got a little bit off track and became a wild child and was undisciplined. Well, at Nebraska, after year two, after or I don't know what time it was, but sometime around year two, after year two, Scott Frost's dad actually died. And so the guy that held the whole family together, the one that disciplined everyone, that everybody was so like, that basically kept everybody in line, was now gone. And Scott Frost kind of went off the rails and didn't know how to act, didn't know how to.
Mm.
And so he stopped showing up to practices. He started drinking. He started the downfall, and unfortunately, that's ultimately what caused him to lose his job in Nebraska. Now, if his dad, like, if that incident never have happened, or if he was able to overcome that situation better, would we have been in a different state? I don't know. But we have finally got ourselves a head coach that is going to change this program around. I
And
believe
like
it.
we
But
actually have a head coach that is like actually with the players, you know. Um, I forgot my word choice, but bless you, Levi, bless you. But
oh,
yeah,
I
we
know. I've
actually
been
have a coach that is for the players and with the players. And if you've been staying up to date with the Nebraska Huskers, um, during the off season, they've been doing a lot of group activities, which I think is um, very helpful and creating a bond between your teammates and between your coach and hopefully we'll see that out on the field tomorrow night of like that bondage, you know.
and so speaking of that bond,
Bless you again.
Matt Rule actually forced during training camp, he all forced them to live in dorm rooms together. They did not have the option of staying in their fraternities or staying in their houses off campus and showing up to practice on time. They were forced to stay in dorm rooms.
Yeah.
Secondly, when Matt Rule showed up, he told every one of his position coaches that if there was somebody struggling, he goes, we're not just here to be coaches, we're here to be mentors. So if someone's struggling in school, help them out, take them in, tutor them, figure out how to get their grades up. If they're having problems at home, figure out how to give them the resources to help them, or just be an ear for, or just listen and just be there, support them, do what you can, and just be that mentor, be that guy that people actually want to actually go out on the field and play for you. People who want to follow you. People who a person that leader of saying, "Hey, I'm going to help you guys no matter what, as long as you're willing to do what you guys need to do as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
So
yeah,
you
that's
want since
yep.
you have this starting lineup, or what were you going to say?
Um I was just gonna say, holy cow. Um that like that's what we need in a leader, right? Um is that understanding of everyone and having that open door policy and trying to build off of that. But then also the athletes need to also put in the work for the coach. So it's it's not a one way. It is a two lane both both ways. They have to meet,
The
you
other
know?
the other thing that the other thing that really impressed me the most was when Matt Rule came in, and not only did he care about the younger guys that were going to be on his field, but he cared about the seniors that were there. He cared about how if they wanted to go pro, he was going to help them go pro. He was going to get them the connections they needed using his resources from the Carolina Panthers, get him resources, help him create highlight reels, do whatever they needed. If they did not need or if they didn't want to go pro, he was also trying to figure out how to help them be successful outside of college.
Yeah.
So to me, that is a guy who's like, these guys aren't going to play on your team. These guys are already out the door, and yet he still cares for them. He still cared for them. He wanted those guys to be successful.
Yeah.
So that if that doesn't tell you anything about his character, I don't know what does.
Someone that would rather see you win than fail, you know? Someone that's actually gonna actually puts belief, I guess, in you, you know, to actually try to help you succeed in life. Yeah.
And he actually like if people wanted to transfer, he helped them find a good fitting college for them. He figured out what they wanted and did what and tried to help them find the best school that fitted them and did what he could to help them. So
Mhm.
yeah. Like I said, is if that doesn't show you the character of the coach we have right now, I don't know what does.
Yeah. 100%. Well, Levi, are you ready for the starter lineup?
Let's get into starters.
Let's get into it. Okay. So we're gonna start off with the offensive startup. Starting at left tackle, we have Turner Kokorin. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, don't freak out. But I'm pretty sure it's Kokorin. Um, at left guard, we have Ethan Piper. You want me to say the height and how much they weigh and like what year they are?
I mean, if you want to,
So, I mean Turner, he's number 69. He's 6'6", 310 pounds, a junior, and is from Kansas, bro. He is from Kansas, so a neighboring state. At left guard, we have number 57, Ethan Piper, who is 6'3", 305 pounds, also a junior, and is from Nebraska. Home state kid. Let's go. At center, we have number 66, Ben Scott. He's 6'5", 305 pounds, also a junior, and is from Hawaii. Yes, sir. At right guard, we have. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this word. Number 63. I said word, didn't I? I'm gonna butcher this name. I'm gonna butcher this name. Number 63, we have Nier Nuli. He was 6'4", 315 pounds, a senior, and is from Germany. I was actually thinking that was a French name, not a German name, which is actually pretty dope. We got some kid from Germany, man. At right tackle, we have number 54, Bryce Benhart, who is 6'9", 315 pounds, a junior, and is from Minnesota.
There's a backstory.
What is that, Levi?
So I was trying to. There's a backstory on Bryce Benhart that I liked, and I'm trying to find it.
Did he get shot
So
and come
keep
out
going.
dancing to 50 Cent Mini-Men?
Sure. Keep
Nah, that
going.
was that was a Washington player. That was a Washington player that did that. Alright. Are we moving on now? The tight end?
Moving on.
Tight end, number 87, Nate Borkircher? Am I saying that right, Levi? Didn't he play last year?
Hold on.
Borkircher? Bo... Borkircher. Borkircher? 6'5", 245 pounds. Sophomore, and is from Nebraska. Let's go. Um, as a slot receiver, we have number 1, Billy Kemp the fourth, who is 5'9", 180 pounds, a senior, and is from Virginia. Wide receiver, number 87, we have Alex Bullock, who is 6'2", 205 pounds, a sophomore, and is from Nebraska. We also have, on the other side, I don't know which side is which side, but we have number 82, Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, yep. 6 foot, 190 pounds, a junior, and is from California.
So Isaiah actually transferred when um when Mickey Joseph took over and wanted to transfer, and Matt Earl actually convinced him to stay.
Interesting.
You know.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought Isaiah Garcia sounded very familiar. Because I'm pretty sure we talked about him last year.
Yeah.
At quarterback, I can't believe it, but we got number 7, Jeff Sims, at 6'4", 220 pounds, a junior, and is from Florida.
He is actually a transfer from Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked up in
I
the offseason.
I'm kind of surprised. Didn't Chuba Purdy play last year?
Yeah.
Wasn't he decent? Well, I
Yeah.
knew he needed work, but I thought he was a decent player, a promising uprising player, from my perspective anyway, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. he has upside. Jeff Sims is um, Jeff Sims is someone that Matt Rule Matt Rule is kind of looking at him at Baylor before he took the Carolina job. Um, he was also impressed at what he did, or I think it's Georgia Tech is where he's actually from, not Florida State. I think Chuba Purdy's from Florida State.
Uh,
But yeah, it'd be
huh.
Georgia Tech is where Jeff Sims is from. Yeah, Chuba Purdy came from Florida State, so I misspoke on that. I apologize. Um,
Can't believe you're
but
spreading lies, bro. Can't believe it. Spreading
uh,
lies.
I mean, hey, at least I'm
Lies.
willing to admit I made a mistake. Leave me alone.
That is correct. I will accept that. I will accept it.
So
No,
yeah,
it's unacceptable. No, I'm kidding.
Jeff Sims came from Georgia Tech. um, like as Matt Rule when he was at Baylor, he was kind of had an eye on him, liked what he had to offer, and then when he got to Nebraska, um, I don't know exactly how the whole transfer thing went down. I don't know if Jeff Sims was looking to transfer or if Matt Rule kind of made
Talked
a
them into it.
yeah. I don't
Made
know
an
if
offer.
Matt Rule kind of like contacted him and said, "Hey, I'm still kind of interested in coaching you if you're willing to transfer." But, but yeah, he's here now. He's pretty much a oh, I wouldn't necessarily say he's a dual threat, but he's a dual threat. He kind of likes to be more of a pocket passer, but he's also not afraid to use his feet. So
Alright, so. Oh man, I'm trying to think of like a player I can compare him to. Um,
let's this is a far stretch, and this is not like I am not using this for like talent wise. So don't make a talent comparison here when I say this. But he is kind of like Patrick Mahomes because I'm not talking about talent here. But Patrick
mm,
Mahomes is one of those guys that will sit in a pocket until the play breaks down, and then he will use his feet to escape the pressure.
yeah.
Now, is Jeff Sims one of those guys that's going to make the weird sidearm throws? Don't count on it.
No left hand throws either?
Doubt it.
Come on, bro.
What I'm saying is when the play breaks down, he's willing to take off and run with it.
That's good. That's, yeah.
That is I can't think of another good player. That is the honestly the only comparison I can make because of how Mahomes is in a pocket presence.
I did have a player in mind, but I cannot think of his name, and I cannot even think of what team he plays for. But
Who is
like,
it? If you could
should
give
I?
me a team,
Yeah, if I can give you a team, I know you can have an answer for me. But bro, all I can think about is the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
Ben
And I know,
Roethlisberger.
eh, I mean, he was more of a pocket passer, was he not?
Yeah.
But he would run if he had to. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe his name starts with a P. You know? I don't know. Alrighty. Moving on to running back, bro. Woo! Running back squad. That's what I was. So, a lot of
Okay.
respect.
I love this group. I absolutely love this group.
What, the running back squad? Um,
Coming
we got.
coming from a lineman standpoint, I would definitely block for these guys.
So you're saying you would
And I
block
would
for.
literally watch these guys blow people up if I had to.
So are we saying they're like a tank? Are we comparing them to a tank?
Gabe Irvin, man.
Gabe
That's
Irvin Jr.
honestly who he reminds me of.
Tank.
So for the audience out there who doesn't know who Tank is, Tank is Trevor Witt. Trevor Witt was a few years older than me. Trevor Witt played running back and middle linebacker, and this guy just absolutely loved to hit people. Didn't care what it was, he just loved to hit people. Whether it was the wrong hole, if he screwed up in the middle of a game, if it was the wrong hole, he was pushing those linemen with him.
Oh yeah.
That so there's a reason he's called Tank. And if you got hit by him,
You would feel like you're
it
getting
felt
hit
like you
by
were
a
getting hit
tank.
by a tank.
Yep.
Because that is how much he loved to hit people. So, for those of you that don't know who he is, that's who he is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Gabe Irving Jr. He's number 22. He's 6 foot, 220 pounds, a sophomore, and is from Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. That is the first string. Moving on to who we were talking about earlier. Well, not who we were talking about earlier, but fullback position. Number 12, we got Jarian, Jarian, Janirin. I cannot
I don't know how
pronounce
to
his
pronounce
name.
that.
I don't know how to pronounce that, bro. Janiran. Janiran?
Janny
Janiran?
ran. Janny
Janiran?
ran. I don't know.
Janny Ran?
We apologize if there are any Husker guys out there listening to this. If we butcher your name, or if there is anybody out there watching this who can pronounce this better, please let us know so we can correct it for next time.
Mm. Is his last name really pronounced Boner?
It's either Boner or Bonner.
Bonner. I was gonna say Bonner, but I was like, you know what? For the podcast, we're gonna say Boner. You know, 'cause guess what? It's probably Bonner because he probably goes by Bonner. Because otherwise,
So,
he'd be made fun of.
so we are going to make a. So we're going to go back to Gabe Irvin here
Okay.
because I just thought so. Nobody really knows who Tank is besides you and I,
Yeah, and people that went to our high school.
or people who are listening to us that are from our hometown or from this area.
Yeah.
The next best comparison I can make to Gabe Irvin is a Rex Burkhead.
Yes, Rex Burkhead, the man, the myth, the legend, Sexy Rexy, the one that carried 11 guys 30 freaking yards in a game. I think it was 30 yards, wasn't it? It might have been more.
Oh,
It was close. He plays for what? The Houston Texans now?
I think so.
He did play for the Patriots back in Tom Brady era. Um, won a Super Bowl there, right?
Yep.
And yeah, moved to Houston Texans, and that's the last I knew where he was playing. Big guy, hits hard, and carries a lot of people.
Here we are. Because I think originally he got. Oh, where did he? I think he was at Texans before he went to Patriots.
I
Or
thought
where
he was
was
with
he?
the Chargers.
You're thinking of Danny Woodhead.
Oh, I am thinking of Danny Woodhead. You're absolutely correct.
Oh, Cincinnati Bengals.
There we go.
He was drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals in 2013 in the sixth round.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Bengals, then the Patriots, and now the Texans. There we go. Um,
Wait, hold up.
hold up. Wait a minute, let me put some ketchup in it. Hold up. Wait a minute. What are we waiting on, Levi? I need to know.
So apparently, 6 days ago, according to Bleacher Report,
Uh-oh.
Rex Burkhead signed an agreement with the Patriots. But I'm actually trying to confirm that.
Well, while you're confirming that, I'm going to move on to the defensive side of Nebraska Huskers. If that's all right with you, big boy.
Go right ahead.
All
Hey,
right, sweet.
so according to NFL.com, he is still at the Houston Texans. So the Bleacher Report is wrong.
It's a rumor. Don't believe everything you read, obviously.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, so, all right. Moving on to the defensive side, bro.
Oh man, these guys are gonna be nasty. The black shirts, baby.
Let's go. Okay, starting at defensive end, we have number 99, Ty Robinson, who is 6'6", 310 pounds, a junior, and is from Arizona. Aight?
Yep.
We have a defensive tackle, number O, Nash Matcher? Hunt Matcher, yeah? Hunt Matcher. I think that's right. 6'4", 330 pounds, a junior. It is from South Dakota, which is another neighboring state. Then at linebacker, we got returning number 4, Luke. Is it Reamer or Reimer?
Reimer. Ty
Reimer,
Robinson
that's.
is Ty Robinson is also returning too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I recognize Reimer.
Yeah, you can't forget that name.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't forget Luke Reimer. Okay, he was he was like Farmer. He was everywhere. He
And
was everywhere.
unfortunately, Miles Farmer is not going to be with us this year.
Not no more. He decided to get suspended. I don't know the full details other than he was suspended. And then next thing you know, he was in the transfer portal. So it is a sad loss for the Huskers, but show up to practice, don't get suspended, and
Yeah,
we'll be all right.
I don't know what he I don't know what he got in trouble for. All I know is he was not um he got suspended because he was not holding up to the team standards or he was not following team standards. So whatever rules and standards that the coaches set for the players, he was not living up to that value. So they decided to suspend him, and he decided to join the transfer portal, which is really sad. But at the same time, the transfer portal is your cheap way out now. So I
Levi,
guess that's the world we live in.
uh, do you have your finger over the mic right now?
No, I do not.
Uh, cause your audio is sounds kind of distorted, I guess. Silent, EQ'd. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you have a lack of Wi-Fi right now.
Good.
Good, good. Yeah. So I'm gonna move on, and hopefully it'll fix itself. On the other side of being another linebacker, we have number 3, Nick Henrik, 6'3", 235, junior, and is from Nebraska. You know. Woo. Okay. And then moving on to the jack position. We got number 14, Chief Borders. What a name, bro. What a name. Chief Borders. 6'4", 245, a sophomore, and is from Illinois.
Are you sure it's cheap orders?
That's who's listed first. Um, the what I've been reading is the starters that been are listed first.
Yeah, well, on mine it has MJ Sherman.
So
So
we might see them being exchanged out, switched out between series to see who gets to claim the starter spot.
this was apparently updated 8 of 25. So this is a week old or a couple days, 5 days old already.
Yeah, this
So
was updated.
yours is
This was also August 25th.
oh, crazy.
So, we'll find out tomorrow who's starting. At cornerback, we have number 15, Quentin Newsom, 6'1", 185, a senior, and is from Georgia. Um, the position ROV. What is ROV?
Rover.
Rover. There we go. Rover. Thank you. I forgot about that
So,
position.
so for those of you out there who do not know what a jack or a rover is, they are the best way I can describe them is
Isn't one close to a nickelback?
Yeah, so what they do is, so the best way I can describe them is they are a hybrid player that either plays out that okay, so their primary job is outside linebacker, but they can run up and play defensive end, or they can drop back into coverage, or they can technically play safety.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're a hybrid linebacker is what they are.
So yeah, they can play all positions of the field basically. Is what he's saying. They can drop back or they can come up and blitz and or they can just be a linebacker. At safety we have number 12, Omar Brown, 6'1", 200 pounds, a senior, and is from Minnesota. On the other side of that, I don't know which one's strong and which one's weak, but the other safety is number 29, Deshaun Singleton, 6'3", 205, a junior, and is from, um, I don't know what LA is. Is that
So
Louisiana?
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So roster update here. Quentin Newsom did earn his number 6 back, and
Hmm.
Deshaun Singleton did earn a single digit number.
So he is back on the single digit squad. Let's go. Excuse me. So, hopefully we'll see some. Did he play last year, or is he a pickup from this year? A
He's a
transfer.
transfer
Transfer.
from. I probably.
Huh? What? Huh? You want me to move on while you're doing your research?
He was from Hutchinson. Hutchinson CC.
Wherever that's
Was it?
at. Hutchinson Community College? Question
Yeah,
mark.
probably down in Hutchinson, Kansas. I would assume.
Oh. So I was gonna say, oh, Kansas, but I didn't want to make
Hutchinson
myself
Community
look like a
College
fool.
in Hutchinson, Kansas. He was one of the guys that Matt Rule absolutely loved. Matt Rule is also a guy that loves junior college guys. When Matt Rule sees talent, he's going to go get talent.
Yeah.
This is one of those guys that stood out to him on film, and he wanted him at Nebraska.
Mhm.
So,
We got him
yep, we got him.
because that's how good we are. Um, moving on to the other cornerback, we got number 13, Malcolm Hardzog. 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 It could be Hardzog.
Yeah.
Um, 5'9", 175 pounds, a sophomore, and is from Mississippi. Yes, sir. That is the defensive lineup. Now, we already talked about the kicker, Tristan. He's going to be number 33, 6'1", 200 pounds, a freshman, and is from Nebraska. At punter, we got number 18, Brian Buschini,
Yep.
6'1", 225 pounds, a junior, and is from Montana. It's Montana, but I'm going to say Montana. Um,
Hold on, I gotta go.
uh-oh. Levi's in trouble. Who just missed it? I don't know if I'm going to cut it out or not, but yeah. Levi got in trouble.
I did.
Levi
So,
is happily married for what?
so
2 years?
we are, as of August 28th, this is 10/11 news. Here are your single digit Huskers.
Ooh. Let's
Nash
go.
Hutmaker, defensive lineman, number 0. Billy Kemp, number 1, senior wide receiver. Isaac Gifford, number 2, junior defensive back. Nick Heinrich, number 3, junior linebacker. Luke Reimer, number 4, senior linebacker. John Bullock, number 5, junior linebacker. Quentin Newsome, number 6, senior defensive back. Jeff Sims, number 7, junior quarterback. Deshaun Singleton, number 8, junior defensive back. Ty Robinson, number 9, defensive lineman, junior.
Is that it?
Yep,
We got quite a few on that list.
all 10.
Got got some people putting in work. Putting in work, bro.
The best part about this is those single digit numbers are majority defense.
Defense. Majority defense. Let's go, dude. That's I am definitely looking forward to defense tomorrow.
So Billy Kemp, our wide receiver, and Jeff Sims are the only two on that list for offense.
Jeez. Bro, dude, like let's that's
So
kind of
Tony,
that's it's kind of sad for offense. Offense needs to step it up a little bit. But defense wins us football games.
and Tony White has those boys working hard.
That's good. They need to be.
I am really interested to see this new defense because it is not your typical 4-3 defense, your 3-4 defense. It is a 3-3-5 defense.
A 3-3-5. That's why we have a jack and a rover.
Yep.
That's why I was like really confused. I knew what jack was, but like I forgot what rover was.
Yeah, rover is basically just the other.
The other
So like
side.
you have a like a sign or like a Sam and a Will,
Yeah, Salmon and
or
Will is the
your strong
linebackers.
side and your weak side linebacker.
Yeah,
That's basically what a jack and a rover is. The jack's like I believe the jack is the strong side and rover is the weak side, if I'm
yeah.
right.
That's what I'm thinking too. So yeah, a 3-3-5. This is gonna be interesting.
So
Now,
if anybody, go ahead.
are we gonna play more of man or are we gonna play more of zone?
I have a gut feeling we're probably gonna play man.
Man,
Man is more physical, and Tony White loves physicality.
I could see it.
So the best way I can describe this defense Well, I really can't describe it because I've never technically seen a 3-3-5. But the closest thing to a 3-3-5 I have seen is is a 4-2-5, which is what the Kansas City Chiefs run. Was what Steve Spagnuolo and the Kansas City Chiefs run. They run four. They run four linemen, two linebackers, and then five DBs.
which has worked out for the Chiefs in the past years.
Three three Super Bowl appearances, two Super Bowl wins. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you. I can tell you if anybody watched Stanford football last year, they definitely saw Tony White's defense in play. I've seen highlights of it. I don't remember if I watched any Stanford football last year. I can't confirm that, but yeah, I'm really interested to see how this comes into play and how it works.
Yeah, I am. I am excited to see the how much improvement. I keep saying that, but it as much hype as has been built up for the Huskers within the last couple months. You just kind of got to hop on the train, the hype train, and so I'm really excited to see how they play and how much they've improved, and if teamwork, because the last couple of years you could see a little bit of the teamwork, but it just seemed like a lot of people were separated. They weren't playing as a team. You know?
What is the word I'm looking for? Is it cohesion?
Huh?
Is it what's the word I'm looking for? Is it cohesion?
Cohesion? Cohesion? I believe that's the correct word. That'd be coming together, right?
Yeah, there just wasn't that cohesion like that cohesion between the players or the cohesiveness, however you want to word that.
Bless
Yeah,
you.
that was-
Again.
I
Again,
know.
Levi, bless you. Yeah, for those
No,
who
this is
don't know, Levi came back and now he's a little sick.
I spent 3 weeks in a bay with black mold in the vents, and I never got sick in those 3 weeks. But I come back for a couple days, and apparently my body's like, I don't know what to do with fresh air.
Yeah, that's what happens, bro. When you hang around black mold and go to fresh air. Especially being in around black mold for that long, like that is really really bad for your lungs.
So yeah, my body just decided to. So yeah, I apologize to everyone for. But luckily, I got a smart brother who can cut stuff out. But yeah,
So let me ask you this, Levi. Do you think we have a winning chance against Minnesota tomorrow?
this is a fun conversation. So yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because I believe I believe we have a shot at winning. I really do. Now, I also believe that whoa, hold up here. I
Wait.
also believe that we have a good shot at losing. And the reason I say so, we had this conversation at work earlier. One of my coworkers, he is a big football fan. He's a big K State guy, but we have one common ground: football. So he likes watching a bunch of football, and being in the state of Nebraska, he will watch Husker football, and he kind of likes Husker football. Um, but he believes we're going to lose by 10. I told him we're going to come down. It's going to come down to a wire, and we're going to win by a field goal in the end.
I think because Minnesota last year was pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Minnesota's always had a tough team.
Yeah.
Now, the the downfall I see us having is it is our very first game under the Matt Rule era.
Yeah. We're gonna
So, and
have bugs we need to clean out of our closet.
that and oh, I can't think of. Gosh dang it! I just had his name on the tip of my tongue. But Minnesota has had their coach there for a few
Quarterback?
years. What?
Are we talking about their quarterback?
No, we're talking about their head coach.
Head coach.
Their head coach has been there for a few years. He's built the program. So there's a consistency there that we at the moment do not have. Will that consistency eventually win the game? Very well could. Could we be the could we be like the black sheep, the nobodies that go in there and dominate? Very well. So I believe I believe either we could it could come down to a wire where it comes down to a field goal because honestly that just the physicality of it and everything. I also believe we could end up losing it due to the fact that this is our first game as a team together and not everyone is going to be on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angel,
That's what you're doing. You let Angel loose.
yeah. Angel,
For those who don't know, Angel is Levi's dog.
yep. Angel,
She's she's a lab and a husky mix with a little bit of Pyrenees in it.
yep.
Um,
Come on.
she is like her mother, and does not listen. Which her mother is a pure Siberian husky,
Actually,
red Siberian.
Angel listens better than our Chihuahua.
Isn't as bad as your Chihuahua? You,
Yeah.
you got a Chihuahua?
We have Hazel.
I didn't think. Wait, Hazel's a Chihuahua?
Yeah.
I must have definitely overlooked that fact when I was back home.
So for
Cause I mainly just played with Angel. There's Angel. What a
there's Angel.
cutie.
And I don't know.
There's
I probably
there's
can't get a good picture.
yeah, you kind of saw the face. Hi,
And there's
hi.
Hazel.
Bam. Oh, now he's dark again.
I know.
You scared me the last time you did that, you know? I was like, man, this guy playing peekaboo with me.
I know. Peekaboo, I see you. Okay, if you haven't figured out already, we're weird.
In the
So
basement.
I am in the
And
basement.
he has the toilet paper. Sorry, Monopoly. Another Monopoly. How many Monopoly games you got, Levi? Hmm? Hmm?
Well, I'm pretty sure only two, because I'm pretty sure one is a Star Wars edition. Pretty sure one is an original and the other one is a Star Wars edition.
You said Star Wars?
Yeah.
That'd be dope. So are the like the little pieces like Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader and like Obi-Wan Kenobi? Oh, what? That's dope.
Yeah.
I gotta see those when I come back, bro. That voice crack. Did you hear that, bro?
What?
Did you hear my voice crack, bro?
No, I did not.
It was bad, bro.
But yeah. Yeah, we got Husker football tomorrow. So excited. I honestly believe we are making a bowl game this year.
Yeah.
A lot of people are out there going, I'm probably nuts, or, oh, we'll wait to see it. Well, I believe we could at least go 6-6 this year, if not better. I
Um,
believe 5-6 is, or yeah, or 5-7. I
I
believe
saw
five and
someone was predicting us for wild card, which would be pretty decent if we did get wild card.
I at worst with our schedule, uh, with our schedule, the worst I believe we could do is 5-7.
5-11.
5-7.
Oh, 5-7. 5-7. Yes,
So
I could
that
see
would.
it.
I also want to put out there, if we happen to go 1-11, do not, and I repeat, do not be shocked, Husker Nation, because that is a typical Matt Rule thing when in his first year.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Rule went 1-11 at Temple, and then he went. I think it was like a 7 game or 8 game win total the next year. He went from 1 win season at Baylor to basically a 7-8 team to a 10 win team by year 3. So if we only win 1 game, do not be shocked. I honestly believe we are in a better position than Baylor and Temple were when he acquired those schools, but I'm also in the back of my mind, I'm also telling myself, don't, don't get upset, don't get mad if you see it because
Yeah, improvement takes time if you are unaware and uncultured. Improvement takes time. And
and a lot of what Matt Rule does
bless you again.
is he is he's an experimental guy. So he likes to put people in positions they're uncomfortable in. He likes to see how you are going to do in certain situations, how your character is, how your presence are in those situations, how you present yourself. Um so yeah, he's um so there may be situations where you're like, why in the world did he do that?
Mm-hmm.
But it's because one, he believes that guy has the potential to be an athlete and he's going to put him in predicaments where he expects them to show up.
Yeah.
So don't don't get irritated. Just I know you've heard it for 4 years. Be patient, be patient, be patient. But and
Patience is a virtue.
I'm not trying to bash Frost and I'm not trying to bash the old coaching staff. But unlike past coaches, Matt Rule has actually proven himself in the college realm to be a winning coach.
Yeah.
And he's done it time and time again with different schools, different position groups. So he knows what it takes to be a winner. He knows all that stuff. So it might not be until year two where we see that big jump, but trust me, we will be a competitive football team again.
And
We
hopefully
may
we'll
not.
get back to the Osborne era.
Yep. I'm not. I don't know. I'm going to. My expectations aren't very. So a lot of people they want the national title, they want the national championships, they want the Big Ten championship stuff like that, which I believe that is achievable under rule. But I'm going to say that we are probably how do the best way I can compare this new era to is it's going to be a lot like a Bo Pelini era for the first few years, and then you're going to see it change.
Yeah. Well, you gotta change basically the mindsets of all the old players, all the ones that were there with the previous coaches. And you're going to have to change how they play and how they learn and everything else that comes along with it.
See, they tell you that it. See, they tell you that culture takes time and building takes time, and like winning and stuff takes time. the only truth to that is winning takes time.
Yeah, winning does take time.
Culture, you can establish, like, so everybody was like, oh, he's got to establish his culture, he's got to establish his players, and that was the excuse for Mike Riley, that was the excuse for Scott Frost for so many years. But you've seen it. Matt Rule has came in, he's built the tradition in a matter of like not even a year. He's already built the tradition at Nebraska.
Yeah.
And he's set the standard, he set the goal, and he's
See,
already
with
what?
culture, you, culture gets built when you believe in the culture, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much, he's building a believable culture that everyone's buying, and that is why we're so hyped right now. Well, I am, because he's building a culture that even the players are buying into, and that's something that some of them did buy into the culture in previous years, but others did not, and you could see it when they played out on the field.
Yeah. And that's ultimately where I think I have my most hype at right now is the fact that it didn't take him until year 3 to lay a foundation. He's come in, he's laid the foundation, he's laid his standards. He's already figured out what Nebraska football is about. He respects the history of it. He respects the traditions, and he is going to do what he can to. And he's going to do what he needs to get us back to that style of football. And he's already doing what he needs to do as a leader, as a coach, as a mentor to all of these kids. And you see it, you watch. I understand, like, we don't get to see the whole background of everything, and I understand it's probably glorified videos. But when you go out there and you you go out to Memorial Stadium where there's a couple feet of snow outside and make them do conditioning drills, when you force them to be in locker rooms to build camaraderie, when when you have that type of standard, you've already built a culture because you're saying, hey, everyone in this room is your brother, and we are going to live that way, and there's no excuses for not. And so he's established the tradition here, and he's done it a lot faster than a lot of people. He's went out, he's already got his guys, and a lot of people tell you it takes like year 2, year 3 before you get your guys, and no, it doesn't. When you want somebody and you know what they're capable of, and first of all, let's back up here. A lot of people go out and they try to get the big star recruits. And that is what and they want the big name guys. And it might take you a few years to get those big name guys, but when you have a guy like Matt Rule who doesn't care what your name is, he doesn't care where you're from, he sees raw talent, and he's like, that's the guy I want. Or when you have a guy who comes in, and I will let Isaiah tell you his story here in a bit about one of his classmates getting shot down by Scott Frost. But when you have a guy like Matt Rule, who not only his first time in, but when he comes in here and the first thing out of his mouth is, I want to watch state championship games, I want to watch playoff games. What is he doing? He's taking the time to look at each individual talent in his home state. And he's not just going out to like your, I understand we come from a small town, so you can call us a podunk school if you want to, because we're not like the big top name school. But when you're having a guy who's sitting there going, hey, I want to watch the best of the best, and that is the Nebraska State playoff picture. And he is going, hey, keep an eye on this guy. Keep an eye on that guy. I want that guy. What you are doing is you are building the fact that these kids grow up here, they have hometown pride. They want to put that in on their helmets. They want to wear that red N. And so you've built that tradition right here, right now, of saying, I am taking hometown kids over anybody else out there. And these hometown kids are going to go play lights out football because that is their home school.
Mm-hmm.
That is their home state that they are representing. They grew up watching them guys.
Yeah.
So that to me is huge. And so yeah, you want it, like, I understand everybody wants a winning culture and they think a winning culture is no, yes, a winning culture is also tradition, but there is so much more that goes into tradition than just winning.
Yeah.
You got to find the guys that want to play for your school, and there's no one else that is willing to do it. Now, if you are like in Alabama, or if you are like Tom Osborne in the 90s, you could get your big star recruits. But we aren't them. So he's going out, he's getting the kids that want to play for Nebraska. They want to wear that red N every Saturday. They want to represent what we have. They understand our culture. They understand the tradition, the legacy, and they're willing to put everything out on the line. Those are the guys that are going to build a winning culture.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got on a soapbox.
That is absolutely fine, bro. That is what I was actually hoping for. Um, that you were just
So
gonna take it off, bro.
he loves it when I get on soapboxes because I could rant on for about anything.
Yeah, he he can go on for hours, bro. Yeah.
The other thing too I love about Matt Rule is when he was out recruiting, he would not stop in at big name restaurants. He would always stop at the local ma and pa shop and eat there, find a small town restaurant, find the locals, and just hang out and chill.
Yeah.
And to me, that has a lot more. That says a lot about the type of character that he is, because some people some people, they want to go out and they don't want to be seen in your small town bars. They don't want to be seen in a little town of 30 people where we grew up at, which, granted, Matt Rule hasn't shown up to our parents' restaurant, but I'm still hoping the day that he does. Um, but he would go to those little small, like the 100 towns of people, or like even 1,000 people, and go to find a local mom and pop shop. And so he
Yeah.
is he is
That is something I really appreciate about Rule is, um, unlike Frost, I'm gonna tell a little story. I've already told you this countless times, but when I was in high school, I had a classmate who reached out to Scott Frost. Well, his agent, I guess, or secretary. Holy cow! And Scott, his secretary, agent, whatever, replied back that we do not visit D1 schools or Class D schools, and yeah, but then you get Rule, and Rule goes to small town restaurants, and he even goes to these Class D schools because there are talent in these Class D schools that they need to, you know, if that's probably there because of their parents, that they're at this Class D school. And so there are talent in Class D schools that need to be brought up and, um, what is the word I'm looking for? Defined. They need to be
yeah.
defined in their talents, and I believe that's
Well,
kind of like what Rule is doing. Is he's
well, and what really hold on here. What really hits a nerve with me is I gotta actually find I gotta look up info here. So what really strikes a chord with me is when Matt, or not Matt, but when Scott Frost said that he was not going to reach out to D2 schools or Class D schools. Now, I understand that Wood River is a C2 school. I get that. Their Central at one time was a C2 school, and we played Wood River before it went from 11-man to 8-man. But you would think a kid who grew up in Wood River, Nebraska, grew up in small town Nebraska, grew up in C2 football, would understand that there is local small town talent that is out there. And that honestly is that is like the biggest thing, is like you lose your way in a sense, because I'm not gonna go out there and I don't know where this. Let's just say I went out there, I was part of a national championship football team. I I went to the NFL, I played in the NFL, so on and so forth. And now I went from basically this poor rich kid to a rich snob, like to a rich snob. No, I'm gonna stay true to who I am. I'm going to do what I can because I know at one point I was in that kid's position. So instead of instead of going out there and saying, "Hey, we don't associate with those people," no, you got to understand where you came from, where you grew up, and if it wasn't for somebody who took the time to look at you, you would have never made it. You could be that impact person on someone else, and unfortunately, Scott Frost did that. Is he got all high and mighty and forgot where he came from and forgot how much talent we had in the state of Nebraska. Another story about Scott Frost, and I'm not trying to bash Scott Frost. I don't know Scott Frost, so I don't I don't want to bash the guy, but I also want to tell you personal stories of people that we knew who dealt with Scott Frost and tell you their stories. We have a kid here in Fairbury. I grew up with his half brother. His name is Adam Wasserman. He was a quarterback at Fairbury, and Scott Frost blew up his phone and wanted him to be a walk-on at Nebraska. And he showed up to a walk-on meeting that Scott Frost invited him to, and basically showed up, and then Scott Frost basically didn't want anything to do with him, acted like he didn't even know who he was, and then never returned a single phone call that Adam and his mom sent out to Scott Frost. So I'm sorry, but if you are interested in a guy and you see talent in a kid, and in all honesty, you take the time to get to know him, and then at the end of the day, you figure out he's not fit for your program, break it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ghost him. Don't be nice and friendly, all high and mighty, and then all of a sudden ghost him. No, just say, hey, I'm sorry. Things aren't going to work out. Well, Adam ended up going to Down. As far as I know, he had a successful season at Down, and now he is racing hobby stocks with his half brother Brendan Stiggy. So, yeah, it's like I said, it's Matt Rule. Just from what I've heard from the guy, just from what I've seen from the guy, Matt Rule also held youth football camps throughout this year to get youth involved. I was actually watching highlights of one of his youth football camps earlier, and I had a laugh at him because he was basically just joking around with the kid. He still signed the football at the end of the day, but it was a left-handed player, and he wanted Matt Rule to sign his football at the end of camp. And Matt Rule goes, I can't sign your football. That's a left handed football, and I'm right handed. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's little things like that to where, yes, you can joke around with kids, you can play around and have fun, but at the end of the day, you still sign their football, you still make their day, they still show up. He held high school football camps, which I will be honest here, I don't know the last time that Nebraska had a high school football camp. If there's anybody out there who could report that, that would be awesome. I kind of, I mean, things kind of went quiet after, like, I know Bo Pelini did, and after that, it kind of went quiet, and I just never really saw anything on it. Um, but yeah, that's so he held football camps, and he also went and talked to kids after those football camps, and he even handed out a few walk-on scholarships to players because he liked what he saw. He was out of scholarships, but he wanted them at Nebraska. So, I mean that to me is a guy who gets involved in the community and um and like cares about. He's not just here. Like, yes, I understand his main job is to coach Husker football, but he doesn't just want to like coach Husker football. He also wants to help develop kids. He also wants to support small town businesses. He is the is the word epitome. I want to say the words epitome. He is the epitome of what Husker football is all about. And that is honestly what I truly, truly love about the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Levi, I am just gonna put out there that we've been on for about 2 hours.
I
Um,
know.
so
I just thought that too.
yeah, so I think this would be a good time to stop
Close it.
the podcast. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think we discussed a lot about Husker football tonight, more than what I actually thought we were gonna talk about. Um, yeah. So any final thoughts as we close out?
No. Go Big Red.
That's what I wanted. Go Big Red, bro. Let's go. Let's go. And best of luck to all the Husker players tomorrow night. Well, tonight, I guess, since this will be uploaded game day. Um, um, yeah. Sorry we got carried away about sports. We promise that we'll get um better better quality and get around to other things than just sports. But
Yeah.
since it is Husker kickoff, we had to celebrate the Husker kickoff. Because pregame, bro, you forgot to go pregame,
Free game.
pregame,
Free game.
pregame.
Free
Yeah, there you
game.
go. Yeah, yeah. We had this all planned like 2 weeks ago, and then yeah,
It's been a crazy 2 weeks.
it has been a crazy 2 weeks. For those
Coming
of you
from
who are local in Nebraska and know my family, there has been, I guess, a disaster, would you call it, that has struck. And so, thoughts and prayers to the fam. Um, and
So so let me brief them on this. So as Isaiah is trying to say is on the night of August 25th,
Saturday
our parents
or Friday night. Friday
that was
night.
a Friday night. That was a Friday. So August 25th, Friday, August 25th, the night of that, um, our parents have owned Pioneers Inn for 37 years. They opened May 12th, 1986 in Gilead, Nebraska, and they have on that night strong winds came through and wiped the roof off. We had two and
Took
a half inches.
the roof off, bro. It literally
Poured.
took the roof off. We were partying so hard. Well, I guess God was partying so hard that he just took the roof off, bro.
So it is a limestone building that was built in 1887. The brick addition was put on in 1905, and 40 years ago, Ava Heller and her husband put on. So it went from a flat roof to a sloped roof because there was
Yeah, it was a flat roof, and then
it was
we
it was originally it was originally a flat roof, and there were um
holes because I've seen it. There was holes, and it was
there were
starting
there
to
were weak
lean in.
there were weak points in it,
Yeah,
and
as what happens when you have an 1887 building. You didn't have all the fancy technology for flat roofs back then.
so it had weak points in it, and so water was dripping in. It was a problem. So they decided to go with a slant roof.
Uh,
Well,
a gable, if you want to be technical, it's a gable roof.
okay, Mr. Construction. So if you don't know, I have a degree in automotive tech. He has a degree in construction. So if we get technical with each other, that is why. So they put on a gable roof, and due to the brick addition, they had to slope it in the center for the brick addition, so they had to lay concrete on top to level it off before the slope. Well, it literally took the whole concrete slabs with it.
Oh, it took the whole concrete slab with it.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. I did not know
So
about that part.
so it took the whole the concrete slabs were laying on the ground. They were also smashed into the old Hopalong next door, which the old Hopalong used to be an old bar there in town long, long ago.
Did
Um,
any damage happen to the old Hopalong?
the concrete broke its
Broke a
was it
window?
rafters?
A rafter? The rafter's the
Well,
roof.
the rafters are the slanted like two by fours that form the roof, right?
The 2x4s that form a roof? Yes, a truss. A rafter
Yeah,
truss.
yeah. So there are actually you can tell where it goes. It goes straight, and then it's a big divot, and then it goes.
Hmm.
You can
Very.
tell where it broke the two by fours.
That's fine. It's,
Oh.
that building's just needs to be burned down, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. It's an old building. It hasn't really had much value, so yeah, the best option for it is probably to get torn down. And then also that night we had 2.5 inches of rain.
So yeah, everything was soaked. You can check out. I'm pretty sure it's on your Facebook page, is it not?
You can check out my Facebook page. You can go to Pioneers Inn Facebook page. There are pictures there. Um, I want to give a if anybody wants to donate Union Bank here in Fairbury, they have opened a donation account. If you do a check, it must be written out to Karen Kelwitz, Keilwitz, and not Pioneers Inn. That's the only way it's going to go through. Um, I also want to give a huge shout out to um, Lazy Horse in Ohio because every year they do a gravel grind. And this year they are actually starting and finishing in Gilead, and all the funds will go to Pioneers in support of getting a new roof.
Let's go.
So,
Also, if you want to support, uh, Madre did move everything pretty much into the town hall of Gilead and is operating out of there. And she's, as far as I can tell, it's just a donation lunch. Um,
so, legally, you cannot physically run a business out of a community building.
yeah,
So, what she is doing is, since there is a bunch of perishables that go into a restaurant. Wow, who would have thought of that? But
yeah.
but since there
So,
are
um,
since there are a bunch of perishables, she is running free will donation meals out of the Gilead Town Hall.
when I spoke to her last night, out of the last 2 days, she has raised $1,200 so far. So if you want to support and you're from the local area, you can make your way over there and help support.
Yep.
Um, Other than that, yeah, hopefully we can get a roof on before winter time because Nebraska winters are nasty, typically speaking.
Yeah.
Um, but as for that, this is the end of our video. Well, of our podcast. I shouldn't say video. I am so used to doing YouTube, Levi. I am so used to doing YouTube that it's like it's the end of the video. It is the end of our podcast.
I know,
Is
and I'm
the
so used to having conversations with you, so it's like this is the end of our conversation. So,
yeah, we're still in trial and error so far with this podcast. So yeah, hopefully improvements will come, and
if
please speak.
I was gonna say, if you have like any topics you would like us to cover, or if you have any comments or concerns, please let us know, and we will take those into consideration and try to
Yes.
make things better and
Since this will be on
more
YouTube, you
accommodating.
can comment down below, and um, I will obviously read it. You can also DM me or DM Levi, and we'll discuss it. Um, so yeah, gosh, I had other things I was gonna say, but I can't even think of them right now. Other than that, you wanna take them out. You just I don't know how to end a podcast, bro. I've never got to an end of a podcast.
Um,
Let's just end it on Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red!
So, hey,
Yeah?
I was gonna say, you know, what we could end it on.
What?
We could end it on the quotes along Memorial Stadium.
The what song of Memorial Stadium?
The quotes. The quotes that wrap around Memorial Stadium.
Take it away.
So, in the southeast corner, you have in commemoration of the men of Nebraska who served and fell in the nation's wars. All right, first of all, back up here. You're gonna have to edit this part. But we're going to end this. We're going to end this with the quotes around Memorial Stadium in honor of 100 years at Memorial Stadium, and
Okay.
these sayings are going to be written on the sleeves of our jerseys that we are going to play or wear at when we play Northwestern at home.
That's the homecoming game, is it not?
Uh, okay, I believe so. Oh man, there's a lot of so the southeast corner in commemoration of the men of Nebraska who served and fell in the nation's wars. Southwest, not the victory, but the action, not the goal, but the game. In the deed, the glory. Northwest, courage, generosity, fairness, honor. In these are the true awards of manly sport. Northeast, their lives, they hold their country's trust. They kept its faith. They died its heroes.
That is beautiful. That is how we're ending it. Gorgeous. Masterpiece. Alright.